YouTube, I just wanted to share some of my outrage because I'm talking with this dude who I met from Jacked, and he's a cutie patootie and whatever. But I was talking to him about Whitney Houston. I don't even remember how we got on the subject of Whitney Houston, but oh, that's right, because he was telling me how he loves Adele's song, Someone Like You. Someone like you. And I was like, I actually really like Adele, and I love her song, Chasing Pavements. So I was riding the Adele train way back at 19. So 19, her album 19. And I've known about Adele for a while. What I also said was, I like Adele, but the only person I stan for, which is Whitney Houston. And I told him that, and he was like, oh, well, honestly, I don't like Whitney Houston. I don't like her like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, who doesn't like Whitney Houston? And do you know that you're talking to a Whitney Houston stan? That's like talking to somebody in the Beehive and talking shady about Beyonce. Don't come for my Whitney Houston. And what he said, and oh my gosh, like I didn't even know how to respond to this. But he was like, I don't like Whitney Houston because she's a bitch. And when he said that, I'm not gonna lie, like something inside of me first said, no, there's no way that I can talk to him anymore. Goodbye. But the other part of me was like, I really didn't know how to take that because one, I love Whitney Houston so much. And part of the reason that I love Whitney Houston so much is Whitney Houston is somebody that both my mom and I really loved. And we could listen to Whitney Houston together and like I'd open up the door to her room and I'd be like, Mommy, I will always love you. Like that. So I have that connection to Whitney Houston. Also, I was born in 1983. Whitney Houston was born in 1963. My mom was born in 1953. Whitney Houston and my mom are both Leos. One of the very first songs that I remember loving, and it's so crazy because it was like Whitney Houston's debut album came out in 1985. I was born in 83, and I remember being in New York City, and we left New York City when I was 4. But I remember being in New York City and hearing Whitney Houston's How Will I Know on the radio. I was such a gay baby. How will I know? Oh, how will I know? When I was in kindergarten, I remember running around the house and singing, I think it was How Will I Know, which was probably one of my mom's early signs that she might have a gay kid on her hands. But that, and also when my mom passed away, it hadn't snowed like all year. And then that next day we had like a little light flurry. And the same thing happened when Whitney Houston passed away. The very next day we had like a little light flurry. So when you call Whitney Houston a bitch to me, So I realized like when he called Whitney Houston a bitch, that it hit me almost as if he called my mom a bitch. And I don't know. And then he said some crap about Patti LaBelle, but then he spelled her name Patty. I'm like, how far out of the loop can you be? Are you serious? Patty LaBelle? Okay, cool. You know, but like I said, when he called her a bitch, and he was like because she's a diva. You know, divas are bitches. And one, Beyonce actually started that whole thing. And I remember when she was doing it, whenever people would try to call Beyonce a diva, let me hold my peace. But whenever people would try to call Beyonce a diva, she would always be like, I'm not a diva. Divas are mean, arrogant people. I'm not a diva. And I would be like, I feel that you don't have the best understanding of diva, but if that's the way that you feel about it, then fine. Then fine. You know? But that sort of became the thing. She kind of tried to reclaim it with her song Diva. I'm a diva. I'm a diva. I'm a diva. What you said?
Not to me.
He ain't no diva.
He ain't no diva.
I'm sorry, you guys. I was queening out to that song. So yeah, I remember Beyonce sort of starting that whole divas are bad thing, which I never understood when she would do it. And I was like, in the 90s and early 2000s, there are three main divas. Whitney, Celine, Mariah, and they are good. But when you try to tell me that Whitney Houston is a bitch, it really didn't sit well with me, and I almost don't want to even talk to him anymore. I don't know. What do y'all think? Should I give him a second chance? Should I give him a chance to prove himself? Talk to you later. Peace. Be blessed.